Greetings, Rebel fans. My name is Jason Kelly. This is the Let's Run podcast. I apologize that I didn't get the live started until a little later than I wanted to. It took me a little longer to get home from work than I would have liked. However, we are here just about 20 minutes away from starting a very important game, a bounce-back game opportunity for our Rebels. I will be breaking down the matchup right now. Go ahead and leave me your thoughts in the comments here, a score prediction, whatever you'd like, kind of what you think the game's going to go like. I would love to talk about it with you all. I'll put it up on screen so everybody can see it. The Rebels are taking on the Utah State Aggies. Utah State comes into the year 1-4. Their win being a lone victory against, I can't even remember who it was against. I think it was like, I don't know if they were even a D1 team. I think they were, but they have losses to Boise State. They lost to USC. They lost to, that's just ridiculous that I can't find their stinking, record. Just give me 1 sec. Pulling it up right now. So Utah State's victory on the year came against Robert Morris. They had a closer than probably the University of Utah would have liked victory. They had a closer than the University of Utah would have liked loss against the Utah Utes. That was at home. They lost a really rough game at Temple. Temple, historically, not a college football program that has a lot of success. Their quarterback as of right now, is a guy named Spencer Petras. They have a guy also named Bryson Barnes on the bench who, if Petras is struggling in the game or if he gets injured, he was the starting quarterback for the University of Utah last year. So there's a chance that we could see him. Of course, Utah State has one of the best wide receivers, not just in the Mountain West, but in the country. Obviously, I would rather have Ricky White than him. However, Jalen Royals, am I frozen? Let me know if I'm still frozen. I'm going to refresh the page. All right, Rebel Homer, let me know. Am I still frozen? No, it says now I am not. So I'm going to assume that we're all good. Jalen Royals, he had over 200 yards receiving against Boise State, 211 yards, 202 touchdowns. Now, Boise State's defense isn't the greatest exactly. Rebel Homer, give me your score. Just because I know you, what's your score prediction in this game? We'll put it up on screen. Kind of give me your thoughts here in a response to this video. But, Boise State doesn't have the greatest defense in the world. However, I wouldn't say, their defense can put pressure on the quarterback. And so a combination of Spencer Petras, who has been a lot better for them, in my view, than Bryson Barnes was, leads for a decently dangerous Utah State offense that the Rebels are going to have a chance to stop. And in reality, after that Syracuse game, I'm not upset that the Rebels are going to have to play an offense that can score. Obviously, if our offense, if Hodge Malik Williams throws 3 interceptions and Ricky White can't get open, and if our offense struggles, this team isn't going to go very far anyway. But having a chance to play against an offense that is dangerous provides the defense an opportunity to bounce back from a pretty rough game against Syracuse. And there were a lot of reasons why. In my film review, I talked about 49-21 Rebs. This is from Mr. Rebel Homer. Big fan of this guy. Everybody give him a follow. He's a really nice and really diehard and true blue Rebel fan. I guess true red Rebel fan. Yeah, I really like that this is our game before the huge 2-game stretch of Oregon State and Boise State. And the fact that we lost to Syracuse, say we had barely squeaked out a victory against Syracuse, like we probably should have, I believe that you would have had a little bit of looking past this game. And actually, I really don't expect the Rebels to be in look past mode. The Rebels are going to be focused for this game. They're going to come out. They're going to play with energy. The coaches are going to be on point. If the players are slacking off, they'll be able to say, "What's up, Michael? Good to see you, bro." If the coaches feel like the players aren't taking this game as seriously, they can look back at that Syracuse game, specifically our defensive performance, and say, "Hey guys, like, we're not all that." Maybe, and I actually think this team has great leadership, so I don't think this was purposeful at all. But after that Fresno State game, the entire program was on such a high, nationally ranked for the first time. I think that there was a little bit of not looking past Syracuse, but not feeling as hungry. There's one thing in sports that you cannot replicate, that's impossible to fake, and that is desperation. And losing that game to Syracuse, I believe, this Rebel team, and specifically the Rebel defense, a lot of desperation coming up to Logan. I would expect there to be a decent crowd. Logan, there's not a lot going on in that city. They have a really good fan base, a fan base that is very basketball oriented. However, they do have a pretty decent football record. Not this year, obviously, but they have 3 10-win seasons in the last 10 years. They won a Mountain West championship a few years back in 2021, I believe. And so, yeah, I mean, this team is going to be dangerous, and the crowd and environment in Logan is going to be a legitimate college football environment. So I wouldn't at all expect the Rebels to be flat. Combining, the environment that they're going to be playing in and coming off of that heartbreaking loss, the Rebels are going to be on point, and I would fully expect a good performance from the defense tonight. A much better performance, especially given that we're not going to be going up against a Power 4 offensive line. Now, Utah State, I was on a pregame show, which if you're a Utah State fan listening to this, although I don't know, I do have some Utah State friends, up there in Logan, McKay Brown. There's a few of them. But, something I didn't realize before doing my prep for this game was that Utah State has been protecting the quarterback pretty well. Boise State, I don't believe, got a sack against Utah State. And Boise State had been excellent at getting pressure on the quarterback. And so this Utah State offensive line is better probably than I expected it to be. That's going to be a big key for the Rebels. Look at how much pressure we're getting on the Utah State quarterback, on Spencer Petras, because that's a strength for the Aggies, 1,000%. Again, obviously, they have as good of a downfield threat as there is in the country. Let's talk a little bit about their running back. His name is Ronald Faison. I believe it's Ronald Faison. I know his last name is Faison. A really solid, and go ahead, like I said earlier, guys, leave your score predictions in the chat. I'll put them up and we'll talk about them. Rebel Homer says 49-21. I think that is a fair score prediction. However, and that UNLV is, I believe, 18.5-point favorite. And so that would be covering, I believe, can I do math? Is that a cover? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I think that's probably fair. However, I would expect this game to be a little closer than Rebel fans will like. And that's mainly just because of, one, the environment, two, I'm worried about our defense. I just am. We're very good at stopping the run, but we're susceptible to the deep ball. And not only that, we're susceptible to the mid-level pass. That 5 to 10 yard chunk play is something that's really dangerous for us. And so I think that it's going to be tough, and we're going to have to be disciplined. If you want my score prediction, which I will give out right now, I would say the Rebels win somewhere along the lines of 41-28. It could be as little as a touchdown, but that 10 to 13 point range is how I see this game ending up. Which I'm sure the Boise State fans are going to be clowning on us if we only beat Utah State by 10. But a road game in conference play, for me, a win is good enough generally. I just want to see a focused Rebel team. I want to see an improved defensive performance. And so as long as we win, I'm not going to be upset, unless it's like actually, I'm not going to be upset no matter what, because we're UNLV football and with our history, we should be happy with wins. However, under Barry Odom, I know that's changed. But wins on the road in conference play, they're good things no matter what. So let's look at the Utah State defense, which has been one of the worst defenses in all of college football. Now, when you hear a commentator say that we're going up against one of the worst defenses in college football, you might think, oh, well, we're going to score like crazy. But heck yeah, brother. Heck yeah. When you see that we're going up against one of the worst defenses in college football, you may think, well, that should be a great opportunity for an explosive offense that we have to really take control. But Utah State does have a player on defense that I really like. His name is Ike Larson. He's a safety. He was kind of an all-conference caliber safety. If Hajj Malik Williams puts the ball in danger, he can get it. He can have an interception or two. And once you have a couple turnovers in a game, it doesn't matter how good you are. Games are going to become a lot harder to win, no matter how good you think you are or how good you actually are. And so while, yes, this Utah State defense may look like it struggles, they have a really bad sign. Generally, can we talk about coach's choice of suit? Interesting. So I have a comment from JD Walker. So Barry Odom's in a pink suit tonight, apparently. That's a good question. I don't know why Barry Odom's in a pink suit before this game, but maybe he won't be. But if you haven't seen this, I guess I can put it up on screen. This is JD Walker, who is a guy that I connected with Utah State. Really likable. I don't really know why Barry's in a pink suit for this game. I guess it really doesn't matter. Rebel Homer thinks the pink suit is great. Okay. I mean, sure. You know what? Barry Odom can wear what he wants. He's a made man in Las Vegas. So I say own it, man. Own the pink suit. Maybe the Rebels win by 50 now. Actually, I mean, I'm kidding. But interesting. Okay, so we have some more news. Apparently, Marcel McDuffie, who I was kind of assuming that, he would come back. Okay, the boys are coming out in the field right now. I gotta get ready for this game here, guys. I will go live right after the game as well. So we're gonna do a pregame show and a postgame show. And then we're going to have a burner space either tonight or tomorrow night, but it would be pretty late tonight. So I would think tomorrow, maybe after all the games have been played. But apparently Marcel McDuffie is not going to be playing. That is a loss for our defense. I don't know if he is planning on coming back this year. I had heard, just like everybody else, obviously, I'm not your guy for inside sources or information. But I'm not a person for inside information, but the theory is, or the story, and again, this could totally be wrong, is that McDuffie got hurt against Utah Tech, didn't take himself out, and then aggravated that injury even worse. McDuffie's a great player. I really hope that he is not out for the season. and I don't expect him to be playing tonight from what we can see. Yeah, it seemed like a leg injury of some sort. He was a big key to our defense. But hopefully McDuffie is back for next week against Oregon State. Hopefully it's not a season-ending injury, but apparently he is not available tonight. We are just about 5 minutes from game time, so once more I will say my final score prediction. Again, I don't really care about the specific numbers. I care more about ranges. I have the Rebels winning I guess I'll be more firm about it. I have the Rebels winning a 41-31 victory against Utah State. I think a 10-point win. It's going to be closer than we'd like. I think you're going to see some good stuff from the defense. Maybe not early, but it'll get going a little bit. And hopefully everybody can tune in and watch the game. If you do not like, I will try not to live tweet too negatively during this game. I do not want to upset Rebel fans. I know that they do not like my pessimism and live tweeting. Yep, big rebound. These guys, big shout out to the Big Mountain podcast. Really excellent coverage of the Mountain West. I know that we were having some disagreements about, the Pac-12 and all that crap, but if you guys want to follow coverage for the entire Mountain West, then check them out. So I will try not to live tweet during the game. I will try, unless it's positive. You know what? I will do that tonight. I will not live tweet. Rebel Homer, he's saying I will. I will not. I will not live tweet during this game unless it is positive. Go ahead and give the Big Mountain a follow on YouTube. Really good coverage. I was on their show covering the Fresno State game. Really appreciative of them. They're excellent people. And they love this league. And even though we had some disagreements, they're good people. So go follow the Big Mountain. Everybody get to your TVs right now. We will be back right. I'm not going to do it tonight, man. I'm not going to live tweet during this game. All right. I'm not going to be a doomer. I'm going to be positive. All right. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful time. Go Rebels. We will talk after the end of the game.